Hi Gemini, welcome to your November 2020 reading. I'm going to do November now, even though it's just late October. But yeah, okay, so I'm excited to do your reading. One of my very best friends is the Gemini. I just adore her. Actually, she's the one that gave me all of these sage and lavender sprigs. So beautiful. I love them. My mom's a Gemini too. Yeah, anyway, I got a sweet spot for y'all. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick past, present, future spread and some advice. And keep in mind the roles can be reversed. Cross watchers welcome. So cross watchers, if you're watching and it's not your story, it's not your story, you know? If it is your story and you did something wrong to the Gemini or the Gemini did something wrong to you, it's, you know, nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes. So, but I get triggered when I watch cross-watching videos myself. So I get it. Okay, so let's get started, okay? Gemini, let's get their recent past. What do we got going on for Geminis? What is the most relevant information for the Geminis watching this today? Recent past. Okay, so let me just get a couple more cards. Okay, so I'm thinking perhaps Gemini, your finances are actually kind of stable right now, or you're trying to make them stable. I think you might be feeling a sense of just like inner peace within yourself, and a sense of like balance, and sort of like you want to be independent and financially stable and just kind of abundant on your own. And I really think that you're sort of coming into your own power in a lot of ways. Even if your finances are not completely perfect right now, I think something might have happened that made them a little bit more stable, even if it's still a little bit chaotic. Also, there might have been some things that you were kind of turning a blind eye to, and you can't really anymore. I think you're sort of seeing the truth, sort of looking past illusions, delusions, fantasies, and you might have been sort of blocking out some sort of information, and now you're not. You could be dealing with somebody that is a little bit younger than you. If they're not younger than you, they could be just a bit more immature than you, especially emotionally. Let me get some other information. What else we got for Geminis here? Okay, yeah, so I think you're trying to take control of your life, your finances, your job, and I think you're really like having a clear-cut look at things. No more fantasizing, no more wearing rose-colored glasses. I really think you're like, okay, I got to take a good hard look at things, and this is what it is, and this is what I need to take control of, and this is what I need to do for my life. Yeah, so that's actually a pretty good energy you were just in. I'm going to pull some cards for the current energy for Geminis that I'm reading for. Ooh, upright, Wheel of Fortune, good. Okay, so I think that there might have been a situation in your life that was kind of a big event. It could have initially seemed perhaps like it was negative, but in reality it turned out to be a positive. And I think that whatever happened with this event or this meeting or this situation, I think you're realizing that maybe it's not as stable as it first appeared. It's kind of like somebody that maybe came in and seemed a bit more responsible than they were, or a job situation might have seemed a bit more stable than it was. Anything, it could be any situation. You'll know your situation best. So something or someone came in initially appearing very stable. And I think this is what might have happened here, right? So I think you are now seeing that this situation and this person is perhaps not as stable and grounded as they initially seemed. And that's making you maybe have to shoulder a lot of the burdens of the situation. So I think maybe it could be that you're in a relationship with somebody or a family member, or with your kids, or whatever the situation is. I think you're shouldering a lot of the responsibility in this situation. It kind of feels like if you're with somebody right now, that it's like you have an extra child now, or if you don't have any children, it's like you now have a child. I think the person that you're dealing with, or family member, or work situation, whatever it is, I feel like you're shouldering the majority of the responsibility. I just want to clarify this 8 of Cups. Okay. So initially, I think it was a lot of wish fulfillment that you had. Like, I think that whatever this Wheel of Fortune situation came into your life, I feel like it initially seemed like everything that you possibly wanted, but now you're sort of seeing that it isn't that way. And I think you might be wondering if you should walk away. If you haven't already walked away, you might be considering it, because I think this is a lot more work than you anticipated. I think it still brings you happiness, or this person still brings you, or situation still brings you happiness, but it's an awful lot of work. I think it's becoming a burden, and part of you is thinking, should I walk away from this happiness? Or should I not? Or should I stay? Let me get one more card. Interesting. Okay, so I think you're holding on to it, or them, whoever it is. I think that they do bring happiness into your life, despite the added burden that they sort of add on your life right now. I think you're okay with sort of shouldering the burden, but there's a part of you that's thinking like, how long will I be able to continue to do this? But for the moment, I think you're going to continue to do it. I just want to pull another card. I don't know if it's currently happening right now, like if you're still with this person or dealing with them. I kind of think you are. I sort of think you might be still holding on to them and the situation, because there is happiness there. Okay. So I think somebody might have done something, or they're doing something, or they're not holding up their end of the bargain, and you're kind of having to shoulder everything, and you always sort of have to do everything. Like everything. They might be a little bit useless, to be quite honest. Like I said, it might feel like you're dealing with a teenager or a child at the time when it's supposed to be a partner, or you're dealing with a work situation where people just aren't holding their own and you're sort of picking up all the slack. And I think this person is constantly sorry. I think they're always saying like sorry, and they're remorseful that you have to do everything. And I think they feel like, I think you might get a little bit of a pity party from them a little bit. Like it's one of those situations where someone's like not holding up their end of the bargain, or they don't do something when they said they're going to do it, and you end up having to do it. And then they come to you and they're like, I'm so sorry, that I didn't have time to do this, or I was unable to do it for whatever sad, sob reason that they have at that time. Sorry. Oh my. Okay. Let me get the upcoming energy for gems. This happens to a lot of Geminis I know in general. They end up picking up the slack because I think you all can just multitask so well. So you end up kind of picking up the slack for a lot of people. I know my mom and my friend do. That happens to them a lot. Okay, so what's the upcoming energy for the gems I'm reading for? This is just a near future. It's not a prison sentence, like whatever the reading comes up, energy can shift and change. So this isn't like your final outcome forever. It's just the upcoming energy. So don't panic if it's not the best. Okay, well, this isn't too bad. So I think in the upcoming energy that this lack of this lack of movement or help or progress might actually have a change for the the better. I think someone actually might start participating a little bit more. Be prepared for a possible blowout, like a fight or something to happen where you might just like lose your temper and get sick of not being assisted and things not progressing and it just being stuck in this stagnant energy where you're doing everything all the time. So you might blow up and it might actually work to get, I'm not saying blow up on people, but it just might happen. And this person might start cooperating a little bit more. And I still think that you're willing to work on it, but the energy is going to continue to linger of, should I just go or should I stay or what should I do? I think you're just going to be really indecisive and go back and forth, up and down, and unsure whether to keep working on it or stay. So I think the current energy that you're in isn't actually going to change very much in the upcoming energy. The only kind of shift I can sort of see coming up for you in the next few days or a couple weeks or so is maybe just a blow up. And then the person starts participating a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like you're not going to listen to their sad story or their remorse or their sorries. It's going to be more of a situation like stop saying sorry and fucking do something, you know? Might be that kind of energy. I think you'll still continue working on it, but like I said, you're still might be in that energy of should I stay or should I go or do I want to deal with this? Interesting. Okay, so let me get some advice for gems. All right, cards. What would you like me to tell the Geminis for advice? Okay, so I don't like to encourage conflict, but I'm going to. I think if there's things that's bothering you, you should say something. Like, I think you might have to disturb the peace a little bit to get your point across. Maybe you already have, but the advice is to, I don't know, do it again, I suppose. Like I said, I don't like to encourage conflict, but I definitely think if it's not moving and it's stagnant, you have to say something. Even if you're trying to avoid a fight, it might be the only way to get this person to actually do something or change their behavior. I don't see anything like super sinister. I don't think they're doing anything like terrible to you or whatnot. At the moment, I'm not saying they never have or never will. I'm not saying they will either, but I'm just saying at the moment, I don't think they're doing anything absolutely awful. They're just making you do everything, or at work, you're having to do everything. So whatever your situation is with family or work or friends, the advice is to speak up. There might be a little bit of a conflict, but I guess that's sometimes them's the breaks, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, Gemini, that's all I have for you this week. So I'll stay safe out there and I'll catch up with you next time. I hope you got something out of this. If you liked it, like, share, and subscribe, and catch you around.